In this, the first of 2 lessons on aircraft tyres, the construction of the 2 types of tyre fitted to aircraft, radial and cross-ply or bias, will be described. Aircraft wheels are fitted with pneumatic tyres, which may be tubeless or have an inner tube. Tyres fitted with inner tubes tend to be used on some light aircraft and on older aircraft. Most modern aircraft have tubeless tyres fitted. Tyres are usually inflated with nitrogen, which absorbs shocks and supports the weight of the aircraft, while the tyre cover maintains the shape of the tyre, transmits braking, and provides a wearing surface. If a tube is fitted, the tyre also restrains the tube and protects it from damage. The tyre is divided into regions or sections, as illustrated here. The tread of the tyre is situated in the crown and shoulder section. It is worth noting that the term tread is applied irrespective of whether the rubber is plain and smooth or moulded on a block pattern. The sidewall allows the tyre to be flexible, and the bead is seated inside the flange of the wheel. There are 2 types of tyre in common use. These are known as radial ply and bias or cross-ply tyres, the names originating from the way the tyres are constructed. The tyre consists of a casing made of plies of cotton, rayon or nylon cords. The cords are not woven but arranged parallel in single layers, and held together by a thin film of rubber which prevents cords of adjacent plies from cutting one another as the tyre flexes in use. During construction of the tyre, the plies are fitted in pairs and set out so that the cords of adjacent plies are at 90 degrees to one another in the case of bias or cross-ply tyres, and from bead to bead at approximately 90 degrees to the centre line of the tyre in radial tyres. The tyre manufacturer gives each tyre a ply rating. This rating does not relate directly to the number of plies in the tyre, but is the index of the strength of the tyre. The ply rating is shown on the sidewall of the tyre. This tyre, for example, has a ply rating of 32, but it only has 18 plies. The tyre beads hold the tyre on its wheel. The beads are made of high tensile wire strands. Each wire strand is coated with rubber compound and is spiral wound into a coil of the specified diameter for the tyre. The plies are wrapped around the beads and turned up back onto themselves. If the tyre is designed to be used without an inner tube, a rubber lining is applied to its inner surface and the underside of the beads. This lining, which retains the gas pressure, forms a gas-tight seal on the wheel rim. The gas seal depends on a wedge fit between the underside of the tyre bead and the taper of the wheel rim. To absorb and distribute load shocks and protect the casing from concussion damage, some tyres have 2 narrow plies embedded in thick layers of rubber between the casing and the tread. These special plies are termed breaker strips. The most popular tread pattern is the ribbed type. It is formed from circumferential grooves around the tyre to assist in water dispersion and to help prevent aquaplaning or hydroplaning. The grooves also help to improve contact grip between the tread and the runway surface. Nose wheel tyres, particularly those fitted to aircraft with the engines mounted on the rear fuselage, may have a chine or chines moulded onto the shoulder. These are rubber extensions, designed to direct water away from the engine intakes and so prevent flameouts due to water ingestion. A nose wheel tyre fitted to a single wheel installation will have a chine moulded onto both sides of the tyre, whilst on a double nose wheel installation, the chine is fitted only to the outer edge of each tyre. Whether the tyre is fitted with a tube or is tubeless, an inflation valve is required. In the case of the tyre with a tube, the valve forms part of the tube installation. Whilst on a tubeless tyre, it is fitted directly onto the wheel rim with a rubber sealing gasket. Each inflation valve is fitted with a non-return valve. The valve core is not considered to be a perfect seal. Therefore, the inflation valve must always be fitted with the valve cap. The valve cap also prevents dirt from entering the valve. It is important when doing your external check of the aircraft that you check that the valve caps, which are normally coloured yellow, are fitted. They will slow down the loss of pressure in the event of a valve failure. The differences in landing speeds, loading, landing gear surfaces, and landing gear construction of aircraft make it necessary to provide a wide range of tyre sizes, types of tyre construction, and inflation pressures. In terms of inflation pressures, tyres are split into 4 main groups, identified as low, medium, high, and extra high pressure tyres. Low pressure tyres are designed to operate at a pressure of 25 to 35 pounds per square inch, psi, or 1.73 to 2.42 bar. These are fitted to aircraft using grass surfaces for takeoff and landing. Medium pressure tyres operate at a pressure of 35 to 70 psi, or 2.42 to 4.83 bar, and are used on grass surfaces or on medium firm surfaces without a consolidated base. High pressure tyres operate at a pressure of 70 to 90 psi, or 4.83 to 6.21 bar, and are suitable for concrete runways. Extra high pressure tyres are fitted to most large modern airliners. They operate at pressures of over 90 psi, with some tyres of this type being inflated to 350 psi or 24.2 bar. These tyres are suitable for concrete runways. Tyres in use must be kept inflated to the correct pressure, using nitrogen or another inert gas with less than 5% oxygen content, as underinflated tyres may move or creep around the wheel, and overinflated tyres will cause other types of failure. It is estimated that 90% of all tyre failures can be attributed to incorrect gas pressure. Overinflation will cause excessive wear to the crown of the tyres, whilst underinflation is the cause of excessive shoulder wear and creep. On some modern aircraft, real-time tyre pressures can be displayed on the flight deck, as shown here on this A320 electronic display screen. The manufacturer will set a maximum ground speed to which a tyre can be subjected. This will be marked on the side of the tyre. It is important that this speed is not exceeded, as damage, including possible tread separation, may occur. You should now have an understanding of how the two types of tyre are constructed. Bear in mind that the ply rating of a tyre is not necessarily an indication of the number of plies. It is an indication of the tyre's strength. You also need to be aware of the effects of both under and over inflation of tyres.